Wonderful. Oh, let me tell you, you don't know how nice it is to see you. For more reasons than one, but, well, thank you. This is Retirement Committee 101, and we have three bills. One bill, I talked with Representative Flood, and he has pulled this bill for consideration, so we'll not be handling that. We have three pieces of legislation here, all from Chairman Benton, and we'll start with House Bill 844. And are we on TV? Okay, let's go.
All right. Am I on?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, first bill I bring to you is House Bill 844. This is a bill that has been requested by the Firefighters Pension Fund. And what this bill would do is it raises the penalty of anyone convicted of attempting to defraud the Firefighters Pension Fund to a felony from a misdemeanor, and the fine from $500 to $5,000. In addition, it provides for the forfeiture of membership and benefits of persons found to have falsely obtained membership or benefits for themselves or others, and for opportunity for hearing and appeal of such decision by the Board of Trustees. I want to point out that although this is not a tremendous retirement per year or per month, if a person serves for 25 years, that would be $882 a month, or roughly $10,500 a year. But after 10 years, that would be a little over $211,000 that they would have received. And because of the misdemeanor in the current law, we feel like that this is moved up to felony status when they have achieved this type of retirement and money over the years. Would be glad to answer any questions if the committee has any.
All right. We have any questions?
We were just curious, how is that?
Okay, let me recognize you. Oh.
There we go. Do other funds have that same kind of penalty for fraudulent information?
This is at the request of the Firefighters Fund, so.
I was just curious if we did that for anybody else.
I don't believe so. No, it may vary, but I don't. There's no what we'd consider consistency probably in any of those, but just don't. Yeah.
Or any other code, probably. All right. It was just a question of curiosity.
All right. Any other questions? We have a motion?
I don't know whether there's anybody from the firefighters.
Oh, would you like to speak to it? Oh, okay, go ahead. If that's, you got to convince us. Oh, he's going to read the book to us.
Oh, no, that's another prop for another day. Mr. Chairman and ladies and gentlemen of the committee, if I may, just to help you give an idea of why we really want this bill. Over the years, the pension fund's been in business for 55 years. It's a voluntary retirement system. It works on the honor system among the firefighters, both paid and volunteer. And as it works on the honor system, it's self-reported. And as we have gone to start really improving our reporting system and gathering data on a much more stringent basis, we are finding a little bit of, not a lot, but a little bit of fraud and a little bit of misreporting. And we have found that the misdemeanor level of penalty is not sufficient of a threat to really get these folks to do what they need to do. In addition to that, we have no provision in our plan for penalizing collusion for when a chief signs a falsified document or a training officer signs a falsified document to strip them of their benefits. So there's no threat to really stop this. And we do think the benefit does rise to the level of a felony if they falsely reported their benefit. Presently, we have 3 cases pending. 2 of them are in the hands of the GBI. One of them's probably, the one that's not in the hands of the GBI is probably going to go to court. We've been to court recently over another case, which we did successfully win, and we got the benefits back. And we've had a couple of benefits paid back for this. But we would like to have the threat of a felony on the books. So I would ask you to favorably report. Thank you.
All right. Do we have? Evidently, we have several questions. All right. Every light down through here, so I didn't see which one would actually came on first. So.
They'll go with me first. Go ahead.
Thank you so much for bringing this before the committee. And I think you kind of answered my question. I was just curious to what constitutes, the misstatement or the misfiling by a member to result in even being taken up for investigation or action. Is it not being truthful on dependence or time served?
It's time served.
Okay.
It's where perhaps a volunteer has reported that they did go to fires and they did take training, when in reality they didn't.
Okay.
We actually had one firefighter who actually moved out of state and failed to report, his department failed to report that he left, which really gets into the training officer and the firefighter himself. Mm-hmm. The training officer subsequently was found to have falsified some training documents. He was fired by his department. He's gone. And we wound up taking that case to court, and again, we won that one. Okay. So we have things like that going on.
Thank you.
There's not a lot, very little, but you want that threat.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Anyone else had a question? Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So I just want to clarify. So they lose everything, that not only what they were trying to defraud, but also anything that they might have been eligible for, that would be gone if they were found to defraud.
To collude,
the system.
yes.
Yep. Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're out. They will refund their dues, and they're gone.
Okay. Any other questions? If there are none, do I have a motion?
I move we do pass House Bill 844.
All right. I have a motion and a second. All in favor, let's be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Like sign. Motion's carried. All right. Chairman Benton, 935.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. 935 is a housekeeping bill for the firefighters' pension fund. It does 2 things. It provides the same exemption from the disclosure of confidential information to the local retirement systems afforded in Title 47 created funds and pooled funds, and it corrects the requirement for actuarial studies and reports required in Title 47. Chapter 20, we're changing them from 3 years to 2 years, and that's in accordance with current practice and accounting standards. And we simply need this to bring consistency to the retirement system governance. Be glad to answer any questions.
All right. Does anyone on the committee have a question? There is none. There's a motion? Second? Second. All in favor, let me know by saying aye. Any opposition? Like sign. Motion's carried. And the last one, Chairman Benton, 937.
Mr. Chairman, House Bill 937 does one thing, and it defines the term "in good standing." It's a term that's used throughout Title 47 for firefighters' pension funds, but it is not defined. The reason we're doing that is that a member in good standing is afforded certain privileges, taking leaves of absence, retirement, and so forth. Beneficiary of a member who dies while in good standings but is not vested receives a modest death benefit. This bill provides that if a member dies while not in good standings, the beneficiary receives a return of the member's dues in like manner as if the member had requested a refund less 5% service charge. Why do we need it? It's used in the code several times to define when a benefit is available. The term needs to be defined. Likewise, when benefits are restricted due to lack of good standing, the restriction should also be prescribed. So, if there are no questions, I would appreciate a do pass on this, Mr. Chairman.
All right, do we have any questions? Hearing none?
Wait a minute, he's got a question.
Oh, we got a question. No. You have a question?
Well, we also just call executive directions to the superintendent one place, is that right? And just change the little name there and all that.
Okay.
No, you're fine. Okay, do I have a motion? Motion do pass. Second?
Second.
All in favor, let me know by saying aye. Motion's carried. Thank you so much for our meeting. And you had something else you wanted to share with us?
I do, Mr. Chairman, on House Bill 935, if I just may make one comment. That bill,
We may have to vote on it again.
no, we don't. I just want to make a comment, if I may, please. I also bring that bill in the on behalf of the Georgia Association of Public Pension Trustees, of which I am the president, and Margaret Bryant is here as the executive director, and that's brought on behalf of all the small pension plans around the state to bring consistency.
For the little people.
For the little people. For the governance and consistency and governance of all of our plans.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And this committee meeting is adjourned.